Alrighty, what's up, everyone? So today we're going to go through some pickup lines, or essentially some openers. Um, First time I'm going live on this setup, so just let me know if the audio is okay and everything's looking good. But yeah, we're going to go through some openers essentially. So for day game, night game, and anything cold approach really, we probably won't cover anything Tinder on this stream itself. But me and Alex will jump on one soon. Lewis, hey Mark, hey, what's up, man? So essentially, what we have here is a list that the group has provided. So I'll put a post in the free group, put a post in the mastermind, and everyone has hit me up with every opener they've ever fucking seen or used in their fucking life. It looks like. If you have any openers, feel free to chuck them into the chat, and we will tier list them. And at the end, I'll go over essentially some principles that I think you should use when opening and coming up with an opener for yourself. All right, so let me figure this shit out and then we'll get started. Alrighty, so hopefully that works. So you should be able to see a tier list that's come up here. And I've also got a video, a compilation that someone put together for me for just some, it looks like YouTubers or TikTok guys or something going up and doing openers. I think most of them are more like pickup lines, essentially, like more cringe worth. But I'm sure some of them are good, and we can talk about body language and some cobs. So I have a video of that we'll go through too as well. Are these openings in general, or are they for day, night, or online game specific? Who lies more? All right, perfect. Got some openers coming in. So yeah, this is just cold approach. I'm not going to do text game on this stream. So yeah, you can write some openers and let me know what specifically they're for. But essentially, these are for cold approach. Who lies more, men or women? Okay, so let's start with that one. Mateus, who lies more, men or women? So this is an old school, is it like style or mystery opener? What's up, Dr. Bias? So I think, where would I rank this? So this is like an opinion opener. I actually like these quite a lot. I think they've gone out of fashion, let's say. But the thing I like about these openers, they really encourage you to somewhat go indirect and to somewhat approach the group. I think that's what a lot of people fuck up with recently whenever I see a lot of students. Everyone is going in and just approaching one girl. And then they're like, yo, why do the friends keep dragging her away and all this shit? Like, it's such an awful strategy to just approach one girl. So at least going up and saying, hey guys, I want your opinion on something. And then the opinion is like, yeah, who lies more, men or women? And I think it goes into then who cheats more, men or women. And so this really guides you into a good topic, which is relationships. And it's really easy to get into sexual there. The problem I have with this opener is for students, it usually causes a lot of AA because you're going very indirect and it causes poor subcoms. If I tell you to go up to someone and tell him to fuck off, right, you're probably going to find it a lot easier to speak loud than if I told you, hey, can you go over and ask that guy what the time is? Just naturally, like not thinking of pickup or anything like that. And so if I get you now to go over and say, hey, can I get an opinion? As opposed to, hey, I think you're really fucking gorgeous, your subcoms tend to suffer a little bit here. So that's what you need to keep in mind. Not only like what are good openers, but what are the ones that prime you to actually get into good routines or to show a lot of intent or that really cause you to have a lot of good subcoms, or which ones cause more AA. So I think something like who lies more, men or women, I'm going to pop into B. You guys probably can't see that whatsoever, right? Let me make this a little bit bigger. So yeah, I think that encourages some good dialogue within the group. It's kind of interesting. The one thing you got to be careful here, as I mentioned, you need really good subcoms. You need to be very aware of that when you come in, and you need some context. I think if you just walk up to a group of girls, you're like, hey guys, I got a question. Who like, they're gonna be like, what the fuck, are you doing a survey? Like, what the fuck is this? So you need to say And it works especially if you got a bunch of hot girls with you, just saying. But it really needs to work if you're like around in a group and you're like, yo, okay, guys, I need your help here, okay? We've been arguing for the last fucking 30 minutes, all right? These girls are so stupid. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, question for you guys. They're like, yeah, what's up? Who do you think lies more? Is it men or women? That's going to be a much better opener. All right. I'm gay. Any advice for gay men? There's some couple of coaches out there that are just hit me up in the DMs. I'll send you a list of coaches that I think would be amazing at this. Yeah, Mystery came up with it. Okay, thanks for that. Marcus, what would be the best pickup line I use on you? I love it. Isn't that a phrase from the Mystery book? Yeah, I was just saying, I think it's from like Style or Mystery. Yeah, I would be to that. I think it's actually a pretty good opener. All right, I've got a bunch down the bottom here. If you guys have any, put them in the chat, obviously. I've got a bunch down the bottom here that we can cover. So, hey, you are absolutely gorgeous. I want you. All right. Fucking chucking this straight up in a... Let me make this a little bit bigger. Once I was just talking about, this is going to make sure you have subcoms that are on point, and it's going to make sure that you show some fucking intent. All right? This is the biggest problem. And what I actually like here as well is it isn't this like fluffing around, hey, I just came from across the street and I was doing my shopping and I was thinking about my day and I saw you and I was going to kick myself if I didn't come and say hi, but I just wanted to tell you you're very cute. It's like, no, fuck that. We get to the point. Hey, you're absolutely gorgeous. I fucking want you. Perfect. Love it. If you're going to go really direct, this is a good way to do it. Now, the disadvantage of this is you need to think what your perception is and what the girl perception of herself is. So if there's a girl walking around and she thinks, listen, I'm a fucking 10, okay? I'm super gorgeous. I've got all these guys hitting me up in my DMs. I'm a fucking model, like whatever it is, bottle service girl. Like, I am a fucking 10. And, you know, I can get whoever I want, essentially. If that's her own perception, and then your perception that you're giving off is maybe that you're an average looking dude that's a little bit confident, and that's all you have at that moment, because it's impossible to really tell much else unless you're walking around with like a Rolex walking out of a private jet or some shit. Like, it depends on the scenario, but for most guys, you're going to be an average looking dude and you're going to be a little bit confident. It's going to be the perception. If you go up with this, hey, absolutely gorgeous, I want you, what actually happens is your perceived value goes up a little bit. Because to say something like that, you actually need a lot of confidence. You need a lot of balls, and it implies that you've probably done this a lot of times before, and you're probably good with women. So it actually does increase your value a little bit. But if she's like a 10, she perceives you like as a 6 or 7, and then you bumped up even to an 8, you could argue. There's still a disparity there. And so you're actually asking her in this moment, hey, let me know if you want me or not, right? Let me know right now if you think I'm someone that you want to fuck, essentially is what you're asking. And so when you do that, you tend to get a lot of either non-compliance or a lot of compliance. There's often not a middle ground. A lot of openers, when you go in a little bit more indirect, or you're just like, hey, I think you're really fucking cute, is you can sit in that middle ground for a little bit longer where she doesn't have to make a decision. The minute you say, I want you, you're gorgeous, like that's the moment she has to kind of decide, do I see where this goes or not? And most of the time, the girls are either going to say, thank you so much, like, and show you a lot of validation, attention, and compliance, or, hey, I got a boyfriend. Hey, I'm really busy. Hey, I'm not looking for anything right now. Hey, this is my girlfriend that I'm with, like, blah, blah. So I'm putting it as an A because I think in terms of direct openers, it's very good. But keep in mind the disadvantages that you have there. Okay, cool. Let's go. I haven't read these before, by the way, so hopefully there's not too many trolls in here. My pickup line might fail miserably with you, but after I've given you the best experience of your life, you'll forget about the opener pretty quick anyway. Okay, so now the issue with this is you're saying my pickup line. So you never want to give this impression to the girl that you have this like line prepared, especially like a pickup line. It sounds so cheesy and corny. And immediately it's like a low value thing. And it's like, it might fail miserably with you. So it's already like putting that into her head. It's like, fuck, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. But then you add some confidence, which is kind of like this weird contradiction to your statement of like it might fail miserably. After giving you the best experience of your life, you'll forget about my opener. And like opener, no one uses that term outside of like pick up red pill or like manosphere shit. Like no girl is thinking, oh man, this guy came up to me in the grocery store today and had a pretty shitty opener. So now using like pickup terms, and if she picks up that, now she's like, okay, you're some Andrew Tate fanboy that thinks your line is shit, but now you're just going to tell me you're going to give me a great experience. So it has so many poor elements here. I'm just going to put this straight into F. Like I would never fucking use this. Because this isn't even like a plausible deniability of like, I'm fucking with you. Like some of these pickup lines here, I'm sure you better tell, probably sound really awful, but you have this plausible deniability of like, hey, I'm just fucking with you, right? Like this isn't actually my line. It's something that I fucking read on the internet. I thought it'd be funny to troll you with it for a little bit. Okay, so let's... All right, this may work. All right, let's put that right into C. I don't mind it. The problem with this is it's a little bit confusing and doesn't really put much onus on the girl, right? If you just go up to her and you're like, hang on 1 second, this might work. Once again, it's hard to have great subcoms, but there's no context here. The girl is going to be left confused. She's going to be like, hang on, what, are you selling something? What may work? What's happening? What's going on here? It's usually just going to lead to confusion. Okay, this is another one that I can't stand guys promoting or using, which is just hi. Why is my fucking cursor not working? Which is just hi. Never use this, right? I've heard coaches before be like, everyone complicates openers. Like, what the fuck? It's so weird. Just go up and say hi. It's like, dude, are you serious? Like, that is your optimal strategy? After years of going out and approaching thousands of fucking women and having students for years and seeing exactly what worked and what worked, you came to the conclusion that going up to a girl and saying, hi, is the best fucking opener you could come up with. No, this is lazy. It's bullshit. Now, there's an argument to be made that if you never approached before, one way to relieve a lot of anxiety is to just, your opener can be high, right? Because it's easy, it's no pressure, just do that and leave. Sure. But this is not an optimal strategy. This is nothing that you should be using long term whatsoever. So never go up high. It's boring. It's girls get it all the time from drunk dudes. It says zero about you. F that shit. Don't use it. All right. I'm curious about something. Have you seen my cock? This might surprise you guys, but it's not going into F. That's straight up second from the bottom of the barrel tier right here. All right. So you might be asking yourself, why did I put have you seen my cock in E? This is one of the openers that is going to show a fuck ton of confidence. And if you do it in a trolly way where you're clearly like fucking with the girl, these are ones you can actually get away with and set up a really great dynamic. Now, it's a low chance. You have to be super advanced. And there are so many more optimal shit you can say other than this. But it's not an F because it actually can work great. So, yeah, maybe we need like a pickup compilation of like guys using this. You'll probably get fucking in this day and age arrested for violence or something. All right. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? Oh, where am I popping this bad boy? Maybe we pop it in B. So this is a very direct, what I would like to put in the category of like security guard openers. This is the way I think of them. And there'll be a couple others, so I won't give examples now. But who the fuck are you? You're implying a sense of authority from the beginning. Maybe we should call them authority openers instead of security guard openers, but that's typically the way I think about it. Is you go up, say, who the fuck are you? And now this girl immediately, she immediately has this sense of DS dynamic. So you're immediately in this like dominant frame. You immediately have the authority. The girls often, which is crazy, are usually super compliant because they're just not used to guys saying that, and they're also not sure how to react. It's like the whole idea if someone wears a vest and tell you what to do, you tend to just follow it. You see that in public all the time. So you go up, who the fuck are you? They're like, hell, what? I am da da da. Why? What's wrong? Now I put it in B because I think there are so much better security guard openers. Like often going up to girls and asking them like, hey, how many drinks have you had? And pretending like you're about to kick them out. Or like, what are you doing standing here? Or you can't dance here. But we'll put it in B. Let me know your thoughts in the chat as well. Femi, what's up, man? All right. Have you seen your doctor lately? It seems like you're missing some vitamin D. All right. Yeah, this is going into F. Sorry, my man. It's a little bit too cheesy to like have that sense of like dominance and trolling them. I've seen someone say like you're missing some vitamin in me and stuff like that, but this is just so cringe. Yeah, don't use it. Hey, I'm the assistant manager here. We're going to have to ask for your table back. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that shit. Let's put that in like C. Again, this is like an authority opener. Now, this only works depending what you say afterwards. Like, if you're like, hey, I'm the assistant manager, we're going to have this table back. And by the way, imagine you're at a bar, right? And the girls are just sitting around like a free table. I'm not thinking like table game here or anything like that. You're just around a table. And you're like, hey, look, I'm the manager here. You can't sit here. We're going to have to take this back. It's reserved. The girl's like, oh, really? Like, we have to leave? Yep, sorry. You're going to have to go, especially you. She's like, what? What the fuck? I'm like, sorry, guys. They go to get up. This is the moment where it counts. Because if you just are like, oh, no, I was joking. Haha. Okay. Hey. And they're like, what the fuck? You need a level of confidence here. This is like a little bit more advanced. You need to be like, nah, I'm just fucking with you guys. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, I just wanted to come fuck with you. And I need a seat. I'm sorry about that. They're like, what? Hey, where are you guys from? So you need to continue that on. If you don't, then yeah, you're going to be one of those guys that like, this doesn't work for me. Are you muffin? Because I would make a cupcake out of you. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm going to leave this section for like cringe, awful pickup lines. You're the cutest girl I've seen in the last hour. All right, let's put that in D. Yeah, the whole idea behind cutest, the problem with this is anytime I see any guy in game have cute in their opener, I guarantee you it is the same fucking London game tonality. Hey, look, I just came from over here and I thought you were cute. And it just is awful in terms of emotional impact. And it's a line that you've said over and over and over again. It's always shit. So whenever I see cutest in the description, I'm usually going down the list. And here, the cutest girl seen in the last hour. I get you trying to like troll a little bit. There's some sense of humor here, some sarcasm. I just think there are a lot better openers to use. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. I saw you, thought you were cute, and I had to come say hi. Man, okay. This is the most important thing we can talk about today, in my opinion. We're going to put this down in B again. Guys, if you are using this opener, right? I'm looking at you right now. If you are using this opener, I want you to record yourself opening and I want you to listen to it back. If it doesn't sound like the way you would talk to one of your boys when you see a super attractive girl, then you need to change your opener. Because look, when you're with your mates, right? When you're with your boys, you're at the club or you're walking down the street and there is a dime. When there is a super fucking hot girl walking down that street and all of you are like, yo, man, check out that girl, man. She's fucking, that is my type, right? That's my type to a T. And your mate's like, yeah, man, she's pretty fucking, all right, I get you. Yeah, right on. Like, that is the level of expression and emotion you need to have. If you are going up to a girl and you're saying, hey, look, I just saw you from over there and I thought you were cute. I had to come say hi. It doesn't sound like you thought she was cute at fucking all. If you had to stop your day, right? You're a busy fucking attractive man that's got shit to do. If you had to stop your day, walk over to a girl and you're like, fuck it, all right, I need to speak to the girls. Then don't go over and say, hey, I thought you were cute. Fuck that. A really way to fix this is this. All right? Hey, I thought you were fucking cute. Whenever you swear at profanity, it's going to get you a little bit out of like this nice guy validation, thought you were cute frame. It's also going to help you express, right? It's hard to swear without having some level of expression here. So, hey, I thought you were fucking cute. I would change this to gorgeous. And then you can say, look, I had to come over here. When you say that, it's like you look at them like with a level of aggression, like I had to. had no fucking choice, right? Like sometimes I'll even say, hey, fuck you. She's like, what? I'm like, this is all your fault. I had to come over here, right? That's going to be so much better. So if you're a guy that's using this, sup, Femi, then change your approach. Okay, here we go. Hey, excuse me, you look fucking amazing. That's better, right? Let's put that up in B. Or even, we can, yeah, there you go. There's B. Hey, one sec. Who followed? Oh, I thought they said who followed you. I was like, man, that's a creepiest opener I've ever fucking seen. All right, so security guard opener. Hey, one sec. Who allowed you? Like, allowed you? You'd want to follow that up. Who allowed you on the dance floor? Who allowed you to stand here? All that's good. I'm curious about something. Yeah, this is an A. Me and Alex actually spoke about this. We had a Q&A question about. The question was something along the lines of, what is your favorite opener? This was Alex's. I'm curious about something. It depends how you follow this up, but creating any level of curiosity with an opener is always good, because even if the girl isn't explicitly into you right now, she's always going to stay for curiosity. It's one of the strongest captivating emotions you can use as a man. And we see this all the time in like fucking Netflix and movies and any form of media. They're always thinking in terms of like emotional engagement, curiosity. Like it's such a big thing. So I'm curious about something is always going to be a great start. Hey, you need to stop. Again, security guard opener. Hey, you look very familiar. Yeah, I think from... Sorry, this is so small. I need fucking glasses. Yeah, I think from Out My Dreams, but I was sure the reality must be better. Yeah, I mean, this is like fucking simp mode. Let's F this. All right. Hey, is your name Wi-Fi? Because I really felt the connection. Oh man, I wish there was something worse than F. The worst thing about this is not only is it like cringe, it's a pickup line, like, but also like you're simping in the pickup line. Like, connection is such a bad word to use when you just meet someone. Like, I would never open a girl and be like, hey, look, I just really feel like we have a connection. The only way I could ever fathom doing that is if I'm like at a psychedelic festival and there's some girl there with some crystals that she's like doing like a fucking Sundance to or something. That's where I might go up and be like, yo, I just like felt this crazy connection with you as I walked past. I just had to come over here. That's the only time I'd ever fathom using like connection this early in an interaction. Hey, you look fancy tonight. You really must know I was coming out tonight. Okay, this I'm gonna put in like a D. You got to be careful about prize framing. This is another principle, okay? So, hey, you look really fancy tonight. You must have known I was coming out here. So, there's such a fine line here, because there are some great openers where you do have this like cheeky assumed compliance, right? Like, if you notice actually girls giving you a lot of attention, then something like this works a little bit more. Or you can go up and be like, hey, you're checking me out this whole time. You don't even want to come say hi. But even with that, you got to realize when you're prize framing here, it's like reverse psychology. Is that if you're telling her, hey, I know you're really into me, there's going to be a tendency of her not to come off as needy. And that reactance is going to cause her to say like, no, I'm not into you, or even something a little bit more aggressive. And look, we've tested this out a bunch. Like one of one of my favorite things to do in a club is, as a girl's walking past, if she like makes eye contact with like Alex, for example, or myself, like if she walks past and looks at Alex, I'll stop it. Excuse me. He has a girlfriend, okay? Don't look at him like that. Every girl, no, I'm not into him. I don't like him. Like they're so reactive with it. I've had a girl follow me around the club for like half an hour. She almost threw a drink at me at one stage because Alex and David constantly were like, look, he has a girlfriend, okay? Leave him alone. This girl the whole time is trying to prove that she wasn't into me at all to begin with, which she might not have been, but it's just the point of like, girls are going to get super butthurt and reactive more so than we do. Think about how you feel when you get rejected. Think about how you feel when you go up to a girl and she's like, oh no. Like the first thing you do without thinking about it is like, your reactance is like, I'm not into her anyway. Well, she's a bitch. And this is like something you might come back and tell your friends, which is like an awful mindset, but it's there. And it happens. So be careful when you like prize frame like this, because usually what happens, they push back, which is again okay if you know how to deal with it. So sometimes you might want to elicit this combativeness a little bit. So, hey, you look fucking great. Like, what, did you know I was coming? And she's like, I don't even know who you are. And I'm like, you don't know who the fuck I am? All right, that's a mistake, right? Like, you might want to create that in a way. The same way you might want to create a shit test, but there's more optimal ways. So let's pop that in a D. Basically clickbait, but in real life. 100%. Ikeo. Couldn't have said it better myself. Hey, I wanted to meet you real quick from Chris. All right. Let's put that in. Ooh. I'm gonna either D or E this. Let's put it in D. Don't think it's awful. Hey, I just wanted to meet you real quick. Maybe this could be a C, actually. The point with this, again, it's kind of like a high. So this is gonna look. If you're a very confident guy, you have good fashion, you walk up to a girl and you're just like, "Hey, sorry, one sec. Look, I just wanted to come meet you real quick." Yeah, it's fine, right? You will have some girls that, once again, when they have a good perception, they'll stick around, and when they don't, they won't. So you're not really showing anything about yourself. You're not displaying a huge amount of confidence here. It's not really doing anything other than like, hi. So yes, it's gonna work sometimes. Yes, it's a nice easy one if you're a beginner, but it's just not optimal whatsoever. And again, like a lot of girls, it's kind of like being direct without the confidence points in a way, because a lot of girls are gonna be somewhat confused. Like, if this is day game, they're gonna be like, "Why do you want to meet me? Like, what's up? What's happening?" If it's night game, they'll know. They'll know why you're there. But they'll just kind of be like, "Okay." Right? There's no emotion is basically what I'm trying to say. You know, a lot of the principles you hear me talking about is like, what emotion are you eliciting from the girl? When you're like, "Hey, I want to meet you," that's pretty much neutral. Hey, I just saw you doing whatever she was doing, and I had to come say hi. All right, this is also bad. I'm gonna pop this in. We're running out of space here, but let's scroll over. I'll pop this in D. I'll share this list with you guys later, by the way, if anyone's interested. All right. Hey, I just saw you doing what you're doing, and I had to come say hi. So this is can be perceived as somewhat creepy, right? Like, I always feel this is such a creepy opener. Like, if I'm a girl walking down the street and some guy comes up and was like, "Hey, I was just watching you," which is like what I'm thinking is it's hard for me not to feel a little bit creeped out. Now, if you're a super confident guy, whatever, like the girl's not gonna think that. But if you are, it's going to enhance it. So here, like, hey, what was the opener again? Hey, I just saw you. Like, hey, I just saw you unpacking your groceries from your car. It's like, just don't say it. There's no need for it. Just go up and open. Like, especially like the guys that say, "Hey, I just came from across the street" or something. Like, it sounds almost like you're following or stalking the girl in a way. Like, even if this is a 5% chance of happening, don't let that happen. Don't let that be what you elicit onto the girl. Sometimes I will say this. If I had to like run after a girl, so if I open her and I'm like puffed out, if I'm like, excuse me, sorry, one second, then I need to explain that away. I need to be like, "Look, I hate you right now." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yo, I was doing XYZ. I saw you. You're exactly my fucking type. I had to come over here and say hi to you." So that sounds less creepy than "I was watching you." All right. Clickbait, normally pick up lines, it's so cringe, agree fammy, too prize framey. What's going through the girl's head when it's too prize framey? It's the same thing that's going through your head, RKO, when it's too prize framey. They're thinking like, fuck you for thinking you're better than me, right? Fuck you. Like, if you go up to a girl and you say, "Hey, I know you fucking want me," right? Basically, what you're saying is, "I think I'm so much better than you." That's how they perceive it. And by the way, that's how you perceive it as well. And also what it does is it shifts the power dynamic and makes them vulnerable and at risk of rejection, especially if you're not showing intent. So if you just go up to a girl and you're like, "Hey, I saw you checking me out over and over again," this girl could be really into you. But now what she's thinking is, if she says, "Look, I am really into you," he can follow that up with, "Look, I'm sorry, I got a girlfriend," or "Stop it, you're fucking being creepy." Now, is that ever going to happen in reality? Often not, right? Like sometimes we forget that girls are scared of rejection too. And we might think like, it's Mark, what are the chances of that? Like, this is a whole girl, no one's going to reject her, blah, 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 blah. They're fearful of it because we can get rejected fucking 50 times in front of our friends or in a social environment. And it doesn't do too much for our social standings, let's say. Oftentimes, if you often get rejected, guys will look at you and be like, ballsy. Like, this is pretty fucking good. Like, I'm impressed. Whereas if a girl gets rejected, no girl is being like, you go, girl. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe that girl just got rejected by that guy. It carries with it a much negative weight in society. So, for that reason, the minute you start to prize frame, girls will get insecure about that and they'll push back. And this is a whole idea around attainability that I talk about sometimes. Is that if you're even like halfway through your interaction, this is a principle you have to think about. Like, even when I'm pulling, like, hey, let's go home, I've had girls that the objection I had to get over was this idea of attainability. It was this idea of her feeling too vulnerable to rejection, even though I'm trying to take her home, because what she's thinking in this moment is not he doesn't like me or he doesn't want to fuck me, but he doesn't like me enough to see me again. So now she's like worried about the projection the next day. So it's like, yeah, I know you want to fuck me, but I feel like I'm going to get rejected right after that. I feel like you're going to fuck me and just block me and never want to see me again. Because you've just DHV'd, you come off this super confident guy, you're great in bed, you could have sex with anyone here. Like, why me? And this is something you'll get from girls when you get really good at this is they'll start to question, hell, why me? Like, would you ever want to see me again? And so you need to get over that idea of rejection and attainability at like the end of the interaction as well. So it's a common theme and it's something you need to think about. And it's a really good question about like, okay, let's get into the girl's mentality about why she's actually thinking of this. And so a lot of the time it's this idea of like, I don't want you to think you're better than me, but also I'm worried about rejection. It's a great question, Ikea. Ikea, you come up with some good questions, my man. I appreciate it. Van Paul, the less words, the better. Agreed. You do not want to go into a huge dialogue off your opener, right? You got to be very careful of that. Even with these opinion openers, hey guys, I'm really curious. I need a female opinion on something. Yes. Like, who lies more, men or women, is nice and short. There was an old school style one, which was like, I'm not going to remember it, but it's like, say you've been dating a guy for X amount of time, then you guys break up. Is it still cool if you like stay in contact or message your ex afterwards? I forget what it is. But the whole point is like, if you're going into a long open, you want breaks. And this is the whole idea with DHVing. There should never be like DHV stories, like old school mystery style, where he sits down and has a monologue for like 10 minutes while he jerks himself off and the girl's like left. You want them to be short and concise at the beginning. It's a general rule. You can have longer dialogues later on, but everything needs to be like TikTok at the beginning and YouTube at the end, is the way I think about it. Like, when you're opening, the girl has an attention span of like fucking 4 seconds. It's like boom, 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 boom. Now, when you're sitting down, it's a different context. You're more relaxed. It's more serious and sensual, sexual. Now it's like long form content. You can have like more of a conversation with this girl. Lewis, a mute opening. You make eye contact. Oh man, I'm already liking the idea of this. You confidently smile at her as if you know her, and you make hand gestures for her to come to you. All right, let's put that in. Oh, I love the idea of it. Let's put that in. We're gonna put it in B. We'll just put here mute opener. I like the idea of this, but there's a better way to do it. And if it doesn't pop up here, I'll explain my ST openings. All right. I'm new to this area. What is your name? Fuck you. All right, that's going down here. Whoops. This is so bad. You'd be better off just saying hi. All right, I'll just put whatever. So this has all the awful concepts in here. I just saw you, so I'm a stalker, doing whatever shit, and had to come say hi. All right. So there's so many more optimal ways to do this. Just don't do it. Sorry, I'm new to. Sorry, I'm getting confused. I'm new to this area. Motherfucker. All right. So what's the problem with this? Is you're DLVing yourself right away, right? It's like, hey, I'm new here. I don't know anything. I'm a little simpy man that needs women to show me where to go. Yeah, I just wanted to come say hi. So it's really bad. Don't use it. Even in your interactions, don't ask girls if you're in a new area. Hey, where's good to go out? What should I do here? You're the fucking man. If you don't know how to use Google, like you're retarded. You don't ask women for advice on this. It's such a mute point. Like, don't do it. So don't come up and DLV right away. It's a bad thing to do. This might work. Look, we might be able to put this into E, right? You could argue here that you're getting sympathy off the girl and she might friend zone you and it'll be a little bit nice. So if you go up and you're like, hey, I'm really lost. I need your help. I don't know where I am. I'm so sad. You might get a lot of girls like helping you out and feeling sorry for you. So in that sense, you might get a longer interaction, but it's under just a fucking awful frame. All right, excuse me, you're breaking the law. She looks at you all confused. It's a crime to be that beautiful. She laughs. I gotta take you in for the distraction you're causing out here. Pretend to whip out cuffs. Yeah, I like this. All right, there's a lot of emotional roller coaster here. Let's put this in B. So I like this, but this needs to be broken down into each section. All right, so it's, excuse me, hey, you're breaking the fucking law. Now she's going to look at you confused. You had a break. She's going to ask what? A, it's a crime to be that fucking good looking. Now here's where maybe it should be C. But here's where she might roll her eyes. I mean, he wrote she laughs, which is probably true. But you got to be careful that it doesn't feel like a cringe opener at this point. Then, hey, I got to take you in for the distraction you're causing out here. Pretend to whip out cuffs. Yeah, this could be good depending on the amount of compliance you have, right? Like here, instead of like pretending to take out cuffs, I'd be like, yeah, look, I got to arrest you for this shit. Turn around. She's like, no, hey, turn around, right? You could test out some like dominance and compliance here. So maybe it should really be C, but I like the idea. Also, bro, cheers. What else we got here? Chris, so why are you standing here trying to look all mysterious? All right, I like that. Eye contact. Walk slow and whisper. You're clearly not Australian. What's your secret? Oh, I like this, Chris. So eye contact, you walk slow and whisper. You're clearly not. I mean, you can probably replace the nationality there. What's your secret? Yeah, I like that. That's good. Hey, what's your name? Yeah, that's even worse than hi, my name is. Right now, you're asking for compliance. Like a lot of girls, especially in a club, are just gonna be like, they'll give a fake name. Will be like, I didn't give my name to strangers. Or like, who are you? In day game, they're just gonna be confused. Hey, what's your name? They're gonna think you're selling something. No, I'm good, thank you. Stone Cold Chad. All right, my man. Stone Cold Chad. I noticed you have a great sense of style. Where do you like to shop? Yeah, I mean, I'd break this up in two parts. So sense of style is good. We can probably pop that in B. Now, please don't use this as a default opener. Okay. The amount of guys I have that were opening in this last year with, hey, look, I gotta be honest, you have the fucking most amazing style. And I'd hear this like as I'm listening to these conversations because like I'm coaching. And then I'll look up and this girl's in like gym clothes, right? Or like she's just wearing like some fucking tracksuit pants and like a t-shirt. And of course the girl's confused. She's like, what style? Like I just like rocked out of the house. And the guy's like, yeah, look, I just really like this style. And I was like, okay. Like, number one, the girl now knows that it's just some line that you're using. And so immediately when she thinks that, like, this is just some line, now you're this pickup guy, you somewhat lack intelligence is probably what she's thinking. Because for women where style and fashion is like a big deal in their lives for the most part, when you're so off with that, it's a big deal for them. They're just kind of like, dude, what are you doing? Right? So if you're going to use great style, make sure it's on a girl with great style and make sure you can actually specify something. So usually what I'd say is, hey, you have fucking great style. She's like, oh my God, thank you. And then follow it up with something, right? I really like your XYZ. Now you could, for example, hey, I really like your heels, right? Or I really like this color choice. This actually suits your skin tone amazing, right? Have something along those lines. All right. Yeah. So where do you like to shop is such a high compliance question. Like it's not really relevant here. Like, why are you asking why she likes to shop? Like, do you really care? Do you know the places? If you're a stylist, then this could work, right? If you're a stylist and you're like, look, I absolutely love what you're wearing. It's amazing. She's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Be like, yeah, look, this is my job. I'm curious. Where do you like to shop? And she's like, this place, this place. If you can comment on them and be like, look, they're amazing. I really like what they have here and da da da. Sure, you sound like a gay dude, but it'd work. It would work. But where are you going to go with where do you like to shop? She tells you and then you're like, okay, I don't know where that is. All right, Chris. Hey, are you someone confident enough to accept a sincere compliment? Oh, okay. Her. Hee. Sure. You. Cool. Me too. Hey, you go first. Oh man, that was so good until that point. It's kind of like a trolley opener, so like, sure, like it might work. But I think I've never used this before, man. I really like this idea. I might even pop this in A, bro. I wish I could copy and paste this. How do I do this? I'm so retarded when it comes to all this. No. Yeah, dude, this is amazing. All right. I'll pop that in A later. Or maybe I'll just put it here. Confident. Confident enough to accept. That's so good, man. So you go up to a girl, be like, hey, just real quick. She's like, yes. Look, are you confident enough to accept a very direct compliment? Right? She's gonna be like, I guess so. Look, I have to tell you, you look fucking amazing. Right? That's so good. It builds up the suspense a little bit. And now she has to accept it under the frame of being confident. Right? Ah, man, this is okay. This is good. Who said that? Chris. All right, I like it. Control C plus Control V. Yeah, Femi, I'm doing this through OBS. Like OBS has created a chat here, so it doesn't actually let me. I'm not actually looking on YouTube. It's like my OBS screen. So thank you for the assistance, but yeah, it didn't work. All right. Hey, I'm really shy. Oh, okay. I'm biased here, but you know where this is going, boys. Motherfucker, there we go. Hey, I'm really shy, but I wanted to come say hi. Or I want to come hit on you or her. This is my favorite fucking open. But this is only works when you're a little bit more advanced and it suits your personality, which is a little bit more sarcastic. But this is what I would describe as oftentimes like this indirect, direct opener. It's like this mix. So you go up with indirect words. Hey, I'm really shy, but I had to come over here and say hi to you. Now, if you just did that, it's often not going to work. A lot of the times, women might just keep you around and be like, no, it's okay. You don't have to be shy. Pat you on the head. And it's just like a really bad dynamic. But if you do this where you go in and you like just confident as fuck, like you push a fucking granny out of the way, you tell someone to fuck off, you walk up, hey guys, hey, real quick, hey, pay attention. Girls are like, you arrogant fucking what? I'm like, look, I'm really shy, okay? This is I'm really nervous, and you have a little bit of a smirk on your face as if you're trolling them. I'm really fucking nervous. But look, I just had to come over here and say hi to you. Or to you guys, whatever it might be, if there's a group. So what this does, it actually allows you to get the most confidence points possible. Because if you walk in that arrogant and showing that much confidence, like oftentimes this might cause the prize frame that we're talking about. Oftentimes girls might be like, okay, you arrogant fucking asshole, like I'll show you. Whereas you can come in with this exuding fucking confidence because you've just said you're shy. Now, how do the girls respond to this? They will always, when I say always, like 90%, they will always look at you and say, you're not shy. Oh my God, but you seem so confident. You're like, okay, fuck, you got me. So the first thing that comes out of this girl's mouth when you open her is her telling you how confident you are, right? And it puts your attention to that. And now you just transition, right? All these you transition the same way, like where are you from? How do you guys know each other? Whatever it is. But it's such a good way to be able to show the highest level of confidence. And at times, like as well, because it's kind of like this, maybe a little bit trolly, a little bit funny, it adds that curiosity. The girl's not maybe there's like a 5% plausible deniability. And with that deniability, like rarely girls are ever like, hey, like I'm not into you, go away, is my girlfriend, blah, blah. They're so intrigued, or, there's 5% that are like, I don't want to tell a guy to go away that just said he's really nervous and shy. So this is my favorite opener out of all the ones I've used. I've used it like 1,000 times. You can give it a go, you can try it out, but that's definitely my S tier opener. I'm sure if you spoke to Alex, he'll probably put I'm curious about something in S tier 2. And maybe you're different from girls where I'm from. Maybe he'll put that in S, but I'm going to keep it in A. I actually really like that. Hey, is my question not popping? Dark Tobias, what was your question, my man? All I got was hello everyone from you last time. If someone else sees his question and maybe it's just not coming up from me, type it out and let me know. But otherwise, I'm just checking on my phone if it's coming up here, bro. Otherwise, no, my phone's fucking not working. Otherwise, yeah, no, it's not. When music's playing, hi, I'm deaf. Can you tell me who the artist is? Yeah, I'm just trying to. I'm trying to picture this opener. So like the music's blaring. You're like next to this girl. You're like, she's like, yes. Hey, I'm deaf. Can you tell me what's playing? She's gonna be like, 1 second. Like tries pulling out a phone and writing it to you or something. It's like really high compliance. Or she tells you it's fucking Calvin Harris. Okay. By the way, I'm not deaf. I heard you say that. Ha. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe you need to prove me wrong and tell me how this open is going to work. I just don't see it. Now, with this, I'm going to put here like A tier. I use this a lot when I'm coaching. So if I'm coaching and some girl like comes up and sits next to me, sometimes I'll just get out my phone, open notes, and just be like, hey, what's up? Right? Hey, you seem cute. Or like whatever. Like I'll just hand it to her. And it's incredible the amount of compliance I've gotten with this. It's such a like quirky opener that girls tend to just follow along with it. And so because I just type it and I hand her my phone and then ignore her, it's like she's got my phone. Some girls are like, good, and they go to hand it back and I'll just ignore them. And I'll be like, type, right? Or they'll say, good, I'll take it back, and then I'll type. And I've had so many girls that think I'm mute and can't speak. Because they'll be like, why can't you speak? I'm like, I can't. So like, I will go like 20, 30 minutes just typing back and forth with these girls. And then like, I love the moment of just fucking with them. And then at some point they ask me a question. I'll be like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. They'll be like, I thought you couldn't speak. And I was like, nah, my throat's just sore. And like, what? Fuck you. Da, da, da. It's like, that's cool. Like I've pulled maybe, I think it was like 2 or 3 goals in Poland just using this. Especially in Poland, it works because like you can Google Translate it too if like the English sucks. But yeah, it surprisingly worked like so well for me. Or like on a plane once, I just doodled up like tic-tac-toe or noughts and crosses. I don't know if it's like different in America. And I just like drew it up on like an app on my phone, put in the first thing, and then just handed it to like the girl behind me on the plane. And I was like, it's your turn. And she's like, what? And then like, so then she'd do it and handed it back, and then I'd do it. And then I can't remember who won or lost or whatever, but it just created an opener. And so now I could like talk to her. It's like these fun little openers on your phone, I think actually work a lot better than people realize. I had a bad opener, but can we start over and got compliance, but saw the friends didn't like me because of the bad opener. She said something about my bad opener. How should I have handled this? Yeah, I mean, don't do a bad opener. I mean, your problem solved, right? Now, I do like the whole can we start over? But if your girl's compliant and now the friends are, you really need to turn to the friends and win them over. So maybe your opener was offensive or something. You need to turn to the friends, be like, look, sorry, I'm an asshole, right? It's true. I'm an asshole. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. And like win them back over. It's because top chat is selected on top instead of live chat. I always have that too. It's because top chat is selected on top instead of live chat. I'm confused. Do I need to change something, my man? Top chat. Okay. I'm going to switch this to live chat. Let me see if Dark Tobias. I'll try. I'm hunting down your question, my man. No, it's not popping up. I changed it to live chat. Still not popping up. Just retype it. I don't know. I don't know why it's not working. All right. Let me go back. All right. All right. I'm gonna pop in here another one of my openers that I like, which is I mean, it's simple like, are you from XYZ country? Works really well. So you stop and go, hang on, are you Swedish? And you need that curiosity. Again, it's kind of like falling back to this. I'm curious about something. It's the strongest emotion. Remember, hey, you from this place? But it really sets up a lot of great routines because now you can say, oh, my ex is from there, or all the girls I've dated are from there. You can create some negative emotion. Be like, look, I really hope you're not from that place. And there's a lot of ways to go with it. So, are you from that country is really good. I also like this is probably more of a B, maybe an A. So I just came here to hit on you. Now, similar to the concept before of direct indirect openers, here I was super confident, super on, and then said, I'm really shy. This I'm saying I'm here to fucking hit on you. But now my subcoms are way more relaxed. And again, it creates that curiosity. So instead of going in, which still works fine, is like, look, you look fucking amazing. I have to come hit on you. Is what I'd do is I'd act as if like I'm borrowing a chair. So my subcoms are the same as if I'm like, hey, look, can I just borrow this chair? Are you using it? They're like, no. I'm like, all right, thanks. That's the subcoms I've used. So I walk in, hey, sorry guys, just real quick. They're like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, yeah, I just came to hit on you. She's like, excuse me, what? I'm like, yeah, look, you're exactly my type. I just had to come here and hit on you. She's like, okay. So that confusion in a way, that almost like mystery of like what the fuck is going on, can work really, really well. Now, again, I had to try this like so many times to get that balance right, and same with this opener. But once you do get that balance right, it just works really well. All right. I'm not great at starting conversations, but I saw you and thought, okay, no. Just from that moment, I'm not great at starting conversations. Don't deal with yourself. When I saw you and thought you looked interesting, I'd figure I'd take the chance to come say hi. I mean, this is just projecting so many insecurities. Like, hey, I don't think I'm good enough for you. I'm really bad at talking to people. I'm a fucking loner. But I saw you and I thought, like, fuck, man, I need to get better at this and I want to come say hi to you. When you do that, the girls will give you compliance often. They'll be like, oh, that's so sweet. That's so nice. Okay. But shortly after, they're going to get rid of you. And it's going to be really hard to actually change that frame in DHV because you're coming off as a big pussy at this point. So, yeah, I'm just not a big fan. Femi, when I make friends with guys in the club, it seemed like I was pressuring them to open, then couldn't return back to them. Opener was, hey guys, what's the plan for tonight? When I make friends with guys in the club, it seemed like I was pressuring them to open, then couldn't return. Why couldn't you return back to them? I mean, look, if you're chatting to some dudes and you're like, hey man, what are you guys up to tonight? They're like, I'm just hanging out. Bro, where are the girls at, man? Come on, bro. They're like, where are your girls at? I'm like, that's why I'm here, man. Look, we got to find some girls, bro. What's your type? Like, man, I don't know. Like, I kind of go for anything. All right, this guy. Okay, so he can take all the fatties. This is perfect. Ha ha ha. Hey, what do you like? Yeah, I like short girls. All right, guys. Look, how are we going to do this? Who's the best out of you guys at like picking up? I need some help here. And they'll be like, this guy's good at, all right, man, who are we going to chat to? Let's do this. They're usually going to pussy out. None of those guys are going to open. You're like, all right, look, fuck it. I'll do the first one. Can you pick someone out for me? And the reason I love doing this, if you're going out by yourself, it's such a great way to, number one, get good at social skills, get good at actually developing friendships with guys. But now you have this added pressure of like them telling you who to open. So now you're forced to kind of like, it's kind of motivation to get over AA. You've also taken this authority role within the group. And there's a psychology behind this. There was a study done, which is not the most ethical study in the world, but it was a while back, where they took students and they told half of them, you're in the like advanced class. That might have been like talented and gifted class. And then they told some students, you're in like the beginner class or like the special needs class or, you know, whatever it might have been. and they randomly selected these kids. And everyone that were told that they were smart, intelligent, and amazing did way better than everyone that was told that they needed help and was horrible. And so it's a really interesting study into our psychology, where when we feel and think that we are, let's say, the leader of that group, the one that is the one that's going to go speak to the girls in that group, that it removes a lot of our anxiety and actually gives us more confidence to go do what we're doing. And by the way, it's completely fine, Femi, if you go open and get completely blown out. You go back to the guys, you're like, yeah, man, that girl just fucking destroyed me. Holy shit. Did you see that? The guy's like, man, that's so good. Like, fucking, all right, nice. I'm like, all right, who's next? Who's next? I'm not the only one getting destroyed tonight, right? Who's next? So that way, yeah, I think this is such a great dynamic you can create with guys in the club, and just no one does it. All right, that's exactly what I do, but there weren't many girls around. I mean, well, listen, if you go into like a gay bar, Femi, and there's only dudes, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. Go to a place where there's girls. All right, boys, let's look at some Infield. Well, it's not really Infield. I think these are just some entertaining like TikToks that someone put together for me. But nonetheless, let's dive into it. Let's have a little bit of a look and see what happens. Hopefully the audio is shared. Let me check. No, it's not. Give me 1 second. There we go. I should.
Police officer.
Well, I thought you'd be.
There we go. Now, after this, I'll give you some principles for opening. But let's have some fun. We'll have a look.
Hello, excuse me. What do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer.
Well, I thought you'd be an archaeologist because I've got a large bone for you to examine.
She make it clap. I got the strap. 21 gats. Feel like I'm savage. 20.
Hello, excuse me. Do you want to hear a poem?
Okay.
Roses are red, violets are fine. I'll be the 6 and you be the 9.
Draco. She make it clap, clap, clap.
Hello, excuse me.
I mean, I'm sure this is evident to anyone, but these openers are going to work a lot better if you go around with a camera guy and a mic. So if you try to use any of these that you see on like TikTok and shit, and you're like, dude, this never fucking works. Or like you see the guys that are doing like street interviews and you're like, man, how do they just have so much attraction? Quick hack. You can either walk around with like a dog, that also helps. Or take a camera guy with you and have a mic. You just get instant value and authority.
Can I get your number?
Yeah. What are you doing? It's not raining.
Yeah, but once I get your number, you'll be wet.
I like that she likes it, but she has to turn around to not show it.
She make it clap, clap, clap.
Hello, excuse me. What do you do for a living?
I'm a professional dancer. What about you?
I'm an astronaut, and my next mission is to explore Uranus.
Damn. All right, let's get forward.
Okay.
Hey, do you give head to strangers? Well, allow me to introduce myself, Raf. So I can get head now, yeah? Hey, are you single by any chance?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a relationship?
Yes.
So, you know like how couples like finishing each other's sentences?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I just want to finish inside of you.
So, I mean, if you're going to do something like this, hold the tension, right? See how he like laughs, turns away, blah, blah. Like, if you were to just stand there, even keep your proximity as she turns away, you can laugh, right? Don't say like you're a fucking serial killer robot. But if you hold that tension, it's going to make this opener so much better. Or like, let's not say opener, but you're going to make this joke, sarcasm, wittiness have much more of an emotional impact if you don't break the tension so heavily here.
Hey, nice breast.
Because I notice a lot of guys do this when they sexualize, right? They try to remove that fear of rejection by turning everything into an innuendo, into a joke, and breaking tension. Whereas if you're actually going to be more serious and sexualized later on in the interaction, you want to avoid all of that.
Do you mind if I grab those? Hey, yo, I was talking about this chicken over here. There's a chicken breast.
Sorry about it.
Jesus Christ, man. Oh my gosh, it looks so
pretty good.
amazing. Bring it in. Oh my god. Who the hell was that? Do you know them?
I don't know what they are.
The hell? That's a bit weird. Anyway, let's go get some drinks. Hey, if I gave you £1,000, what would you do with it?
All right, some openers that I forgot to go over that we can probably tier list is what I discovered, like think of like pre-openers, and I just triggered my memory here. things where if you're in a club and you see like a super hot girl, you can just turn to her, make eye contact, laugh, turn to your friend, whisper in his ear, like, "Shh, hey bro, just laugh, laugh." You both look back, laugh at her. Now again, curiosity, best emotion. But she's gonna be somewhat like, what the fuck? Are they joking about me? Are they talking about me? We've had girls walk over from the other side of the club and be like, what are you laughing at? And then you just keep it going for a little bit, switch the topic, get them engaged. And it's like, now she's open to you, right? Or you can just smile at a girl from across the club. If she smiles back, now at least that's like a little bit of a pre-opener. She's like, this guy's got some confidence. He's smiling at me. I think he's cute. Now you can go over and open with, let's say, a little bit more familiarity or confidence than you otherwise would have. So I think that's another good strategy. Sometimes I just wave. Like, this is definitely ST opener, where I'm just like across the room. I'll see a girl and I'll just wave, like hyper excited, like I know her. And she's gonna do that thing where she kind of like looks back, is it me? Like, and I'm like, yeah, you, hey. She's like, hang on. Now what goes through her head is, do I know him? Like, is that like my cousin's friend that I met like a year ago? Is that the guy? Is that the guy from uni? Who is that guy? Fuck, he might look familiar. And now either she's gonna come up and ask you, or later on, like you can open right away, or later on when you open, you're like, hey, excuse me. She's not gonna be like, I've got a boyfriend or some shit. Because if you are her cousin's best friend that she met a year ago, or some guy from uni or college or wherever the fuck you're going, she's not gonna be an asshole or rude to you, ever. Right? She's always going to be receptive and nice when you do that wave. Like literally all the time. So yeah, some of these like pre-openers are good. Also, something me and Alex do, which is a little bit more niche, but if like we're just standing in a line waiting to get into a club, like there's no reason you can't just DHV the fuck out of each other so everyone around that line can hear you. So if we got two hot girls in front of us, I'll be like, oh, so Alex, man, what are your next holiday plans, bro? Where do you think you're going? He's like, I don't know, man. Like we did the yacht in Mykonos last year. He's like, there's a bunch of guys wanting to go to Ibiza, but I don't know. We'll need to take some time off from the business, so we'll figure it out, blah, blah. I'm like, cool, man, nice, yeah, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, bro, by the way, when do we have our students next? And I'm like, oh, this time, blah, blah. Like, you can just DG. I'll be like, yo, man, Alex, bro, we need to talk about this. But if you're going to take a girl home tonight, please be more quiet, man. He's like, dude, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, dude, I've spoken to you about this fucking before. Like, stop. And he's like, dude, I told you I'm sorry. And I'm like, dude, sorry's not enough. This is like the 5th time I've gotten 0 sleep. Like, what the fuck, man? All I heard this girl was like screaming the entire night. He's like, bro, yeah, she came like 20 times. Stop it, dude. I don't care if she came 50 times. It's not okay. Like, you, look, I need sleep. It's fucked up. And like, so we're having this argument about how many orgasms Alex gave the girl last night. And it's so funny the way the girls open now, because they'll turn around and be like, do you know if there's like, you have to pay entry to get into this club? Or they'll be like, oh, I'm curious, like, where are you from? Do you have a lighter? Like, all this shit. I'm like, oh, this is too easy. It's too easy.
I would get a Rubicon bag.
Well, it's the season of giving, so here's the cabbage.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck with the Louis Vuitton bag. Hey yo, do you want to suck my big old nuts? Oh no, I ain't talking about you, honey. I'm talking about the Hoover over here. I don't want you, don't worry about that. Water. Would you like to take a shower? So mine's raisins. Why again?
I can't. My name's Dawson, though.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
It's like old school. Yeah, I was gonna say Big Dogs, Big DOS, Big something TV. I've
Doing
seen some of
today?
this stuff.
Good.
It's
Yeah?
good.
Wow, I did not see that coming at all. You seen how many girls you can pick up with this dog? I know.
Yeah. Actually,
He is.
What?
Yeah.
what was that, Bear? You want to do what? He wants your phone number.
Yeah, I know he's trolling here, like pretending to be a nerd picking up girls with a dog. But this works. Like, if anyone has a dog and isn't day gaming with it, you're retarded. Just straight up. Like, if your neighbor has a dog, or borrow that thing when you go day gaming. It is crazy how many girls will open you or how much compliance you have when you do open. Sure, it's like a little bit logistically annoying, but dude, it is such a killer.
You want my phone number?
Yeah, he does. Can he have it by any chance?
Can he have your phone number?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, what's your name?
Nicole.
Nicole? Okay, Nicole.
Sure.
Okay, what's your name?
Ashley.
2, 3, no. Excuse me? Hi, I was wondering if you could touch my arm so I could tell my friends that I've been touched by an angel. What's your name?
You know.
Nice to meet you, I'm Dawson.
Hi.
I was wondering if I could get your phone number.
I mean, yeah, don't ask for the number right away. All right, cool. Let's go. Let me just see any questions here. When I make friends, guys, blah blah. I used that after you taught it a while back in a bar in Boston. Me and a mate were standing outside and whispering and laughing at the girls inside. Shirley got up from the bar and came outside. Yeah, dude, it works so well. Like it's stupid how well some of this shit works. All right, guys. So there are some ideas for some openers you can use. Essentially, when it comes down to principles, is subcoms and tonality are what's going to be the most important here. Because you could actually, like, in all honesty, give me any opener on that list and I could make it work just from my tonality. Or you could give me any S tier opener. I could give it to a student and they could fuck it up royally. So the biggest variable here is not actually the words, but your tonality. And that's what I was talking a lot about, how some of these words prime you for better tonality. So what I'd like to think is, analyze for yourself. Like, where are you opening? Where are you gaming? Is it day game? Is it night game? What type of level are you at? What struggles and challenges are you facing when you're opening? This is what you need to start asking yourself. So if you're struggling to be direct, if you're just like friend zone the entire time, then start using more intent off your opener. Start leading it that way. If you're noticing that you got really good subcoms, you don't have AA, you're a really confident guy, and yet those super hot girls are just blowing you out right away because you're just showing a lot of intent right away, then go more indirect opener. Hey, I'm curious about something. Hey, can't wait. Where are you from? No, wait, don't tell me that. You fucking liar. Like, that's the angle I'd start to take. So you really need to ask yourself where you're at. The other thing is, in general, every opener needs to start with, hey, excuse me, or some form of that. The biggest mistake I see people make is they'll see these openers on the screen and they'll just go over and be like, I'm curious about something, blah, blah. It's like, no. You need to get her attention first, right? Even, hey, I think you're fucking gorgeous. I don't walk up to a girl and be like, you're fucking gorgeous. You need to get her attention. So the first step always is going to be like, hey, excuse me. Now, you don't have to sound like a pussy. Excuse me. Hey, I'm a salesman, right? Have some authority behind it. It's not a question. You're like just telling them, hey, excuse me. Get them to stop, look at you, have some level of anticipation, have them wait for it, have them want it a little bit. And then you can say, or even build it up a little bit. Hey, can I be honest with you? Or I like, I forget who, was it Chris or someone wrote this suggestion of, look, are you confident enough to accept a very direct compliment? Yes, I am. Then go for it, right? Whatever it might be. But these are the big principles. The other thing is, the opener is not meant to have like huge levels of compliance. Like, don't set yourself up for failure in terms of expectation. Never open a girl thinking this has to go amazing and she has to be like sucking my dick and thinking how good this opener was. It's not the case, right? If you just have a girl like responsive to you, that's fine. So like, I don't go in with this expectation of this has to go amazing. I go in with the expectation of I'm going to do this opener as best I can. And I have the tools to deal with any reaction. So if she's like, sorry, I'm taken, I know what to do, right? I'm going to transition to the friends. If she's like, you're an asshole, da-da-da. If she's like, fuck you, you're ugly. If she's like, I'm always going to have like a contingency plan to that. And if you want to find out more about those, you can either get my product or join the mastermind. And, you know, we go into super big detail, especially my product, right? I have like flow charts and like step-by-step about like fucking half these openers. And so you know actually where to take it. But the big thing here is, the confidence should come from not thinking this girl is going to like me because of my opener. The confidence comes in knowing I can get this girl to like me at some point because of my game. And so if you get a negative response, it's okay. You know how to deal with it. All right. Give us an indirect opener. Hey, I'm curious about something. Hey, are you from Sweden? Opinion openers. Hey, look, I need we've been arguing for the last fucking half an hour. You need to settle this for us. Okay. Who lies more, men or women? What else other questions do we get here? Keep the questions at a minimum amount, simple and unwordy. I don't know what you mean by that, Van. Can you elaborate what you mean? Banter ABC. Do you know what time it is? I'm actually here to flow with you. Yeah, okay, this is a really good example. If you're going to use these super indirect openers that are like, hey, do you know where Starbucks is? Hey, do you know what time it is? You need to be able to show intent very quickly. I've broken down so many infield of like other coaches or students and shit in the group. And a lot of times when I hear these openers, like they drag on for so long. There's like no intent for so long. You're just like friend zoned for so long. And the way frame control works is the longer you're in one frame, the harder it is to change to another. So let me give you an example of this. If you know this girl from school or work and you've been friends for 3 years, trying to change that and getting it into a like flirtatious romantic relationship is incredibly difficult. It's so hard. Whereas if you went up to a girl and was like, hey, you seem like you'd make a great friend. She's like, thank you so much. And then the next minute you're like, nah, jokes. Like, you're exactly my type. I could never friend zone you. Then that's really easy to flip. Like, you're going to flip that right away. Like, because now half your behaviors are platonic and half your behaviors are sexual. And your most recent was sexual. So the frame is going to be sexual. Whereas if 3 years of your behaviors are platonic and like 1 out of those 3 years is sexual, it's like really hard to flip. So if you're going in with like, hey, do you know what the time is? Do you know where Starbucks is? If she's explaining, you got to go down this street. I cut her off. Look, I got to be honest. I just thought you were fucking cute, right? You're exactly my type. I just had to come and say hi to you. Oh my God, ha, right? It's so much better. Okay. Thanks for the stream. Very valuable. No worries, Dr. Weiss. Still going, my man. Let's do this. Van, too many questions translates as too interested in her. She should start to ask you questions. Agree. All right, I'm going to give away my conversational structure just to answer this question. What you need to do is asking questions is fine, right? But it needs to come with emotion. If I'm just like, oh, okay, so what do you do? Where are you from? Like, if it just feels like to the girl, I'm asking a question because I'm trying to make conversation, it is the worst frame to be under. But if I'm asking questions because I just had to know, right? And look up interviews online. Like, you can tell a really good interview when the interviewer actually is like dying to know this answer, as opposed to like, okay, and what about this? What about this? Right? As if you're like filling out a survey at the doctors. Hey, do you have any allergies? Okay, do you have any past medical history? Like, that is a very boring conversation. Whereas if you're like, hang on, okay, before we go any further, there's something I have to know. She's like, what? I'm like, how old are you? Now, the question, how old are you, is the most boring question in the world. But when you ask it like that, it instantly becomes exciting. It becomes something like she's curious to answer now. She wants to know why you want to know. She wants to know how you're going to judge it based off that answer. But when she answers, you also want to respond to that, because you sound like a one-way conversation when it's like, hey, what do you do for work? She says, I'm an accountant. And then you say, okay, so anyway, what I do is blah, 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 blah. So you need to respond to her. Accountant, that's really interesting. Do you like it? Blah, 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 blah. Then wait for her to ask the question back, right? Because guys get anxious, they get nervous, and they just ask the next question now. Pause. If you ask someone, what do you do for work? And then shortly after, there's a pause in conversation, and you both feel like, fuck, what do we talk about? It's the easiest thing in the world to be like, what about you? Right? It's so easy for her to ask. It's going to be the top thing on her fucking mind. So just pause. Just wait. Now you can bait. You could say something like, it's very different to what I do, right? She's going to ask. But that's the conversational structure. You're going to be asking a question with emotion. You're going to be getting a response from her. You're going to be commenting on that response, talking about the response, and then leaving space for her to ask you back. That is how a conversation should look and work. And now within that, in a dating dynamic, you've got emotion because of your question. You've got emotion because of your response, because now you can give either like positive or negative emotion. That's a great job. Or fuck, what are you doing that for? And now when she asks you back, you have an opportunity to DHV and show your emotion, show part of your personality. You have an opportunity to show your value. So that is how a flirtatious conversation should look at the beginning of an interaction. All right. But Van, great point. How would you progress a Tinder opener after you look so innocent, her interesting? All right, we'll talk about Tinder openers another day. We'll keep this for cold approach. Interview mode versus emotional roller coaster mode. That's a great way to put it. Okay, Craig Ferguson. Yes, Craig Ferguson is a great example of interviewing, right? He's super emotional, has a lot of tonality. He'll give shit to the girls. We should do a breakdown of that actually, maybe next week. Yeah, okay. Are we on Facebook? I don't know who you are. It messaged me on Facebook, remind me of that. We'll do a Craig Ferguson breakdown. Then walking up to a girl already means you're interested. Yeah, 100%. There's nothing wrong, by the way, with showing some level of interest, right? Now, you want to think about this as like pros and cons or like the thresholds. So as I said, the more direct you are, the more confidence points you get, but you're also asking her to make a decision, right? The less direct you are, the less confidence points you get, but also the less you're asking her to make a decision. So sometimes I will even open with like, I've got a girlfriend, right? So I'll open and be like, hey, sorry, my girlfriend just went to the bathroom, but blah, 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 right? I've tried that before. You just need to know why you're doing it. Because showing interest, by the way, isn't always a bad thing or isn't always a good thing. You just need to know why you're doing it. All right. I like to tell her to make stuff up what she does for work. Yeah, that could be a good role play. I'm in the mastermind. Okay. Yeah, shoot me a message then. Banter ABC. I like to tell her to make stuff up what she does for work. Yeah, sure. I mean, that could be a good role play, right? Yeah, it could be a good role play. You could say something like, hey, what do you do for work? But don't tell me what you do. Make something up that's like super fun and exciting. The only problem with that is like when she asks you back, you want to actually like tell her about your life. And there's a part of you that actually wants to know a little bit about what she does because it says a lot about who she is and her personality and like how you want to like run this interaction, like what her archetype is like. So yeah, it could be fun. It could be a cool thing to do. But I probably would actually want to find out. The Jay Leno Fly channel has amazing Craig Focus and flirt compilations. Hilarious. All right, Jay Leno. Well, let me just put this in my notes. Cool. Alrighty, boys. How long are we into this stream? I don't even know. So there it is. Hopefully that helps you guys out with some opening. All of you should really have a default opener that you can start using. Start practicing it over and over. You'll start to get a set of default answers that then you can work on. Now you have a structure going. As I said, I have a cold approach product that has an example of all these openers. They go through like step by step what to do. Some contingency plans in there, structures. If that's something you're interested in. You can shoot me a message on Facebook and I'll let you know more about it. Otherwise, there's also the mastermind. It's got a bunch of shit in there too. All right.